National Standards Will Not Fix American Education. Presentation created by Gabrielle Frateroli. America's education system needs a facelift, and implementing national standards is not the way to fix it. Federal control over education has been growing since the 1960s as both standards and achievement have deteriorated. In comparison to other countries who do not drill the idea of standardized testing into their students, the United States of America is failing. National standards are not fair to every student, and they take away from what makes teaching meaningful. The United States should do away with national standards and standardized testing because they are ruining the education system, and they should instead allow teachers to just do their jobs so students can adequately learn and advance in their education. Here are two pictures that are comparing the United States to other countries. The first one is showing how the United States ranks against other countries. It ranks 27th from the top in mathematics, which is far below many other countries. The United States is also doing very poorly compared to other countries when it comes to average test scores, post-graduation employment, and overall learning level of students. This other graph shows that places in the United States are setting low standards for tests. Most reading scores that label a student proficient on state tests are much lower than the national benchmark. This next graph is comparing the United States to Finland. Finland has an education system unlike a lot of other countries. It is known to have some out-of-the-box ideas when it comes to education, but they always seem to come out on top compared to other school systems. The children in Finland develop and grow more sufficiently when compared to other students in various schools, and it is even among some of the world's highest technology leaders with a very modern economy centered on telecommunications, consumer electronics, forest products, and metal industries. And their education system does not fall short behind all of these other achievements. Finland does not believe in any kind of standards when it comes to standardized testing or tests in general. The children take one test when they graduate, which is when they're 16, and it's just to make sure that they have learned what they needed to learn throughout their education, and they can be placed at a university. What should happen is that there should be state policy which aligns power and incentives with educational outcomes, including enhanced accountability and parental empowerment through educational choice. By allowing more parental accountability and empowerment, parents will encourage and help their children grow academically. There needs to be room in the state budget to allow improvement with incentives and overall educational outcomes. National standards are not necessary for student evaluation. Some people claim that national standards are necessary so that parents can understand how their children's academic achievement compares to that of other students across the country. Current tools are actually, they're already implemented, and they determine academic achievement and are adequate to inform parents about their children's educational process. National testing does not grasp each child's academic achievement in full. Also, state curriculum-based tests, which measure a student's mastery of the content outlined by state standards, currently supply this kind of information. The meaningful information that parents and other taxpayers need and want is already available to them. Report cards and progress reports are readily available and usually given to students, sent to parents as well at the end of each marking period. So having national standards and standardized testing that are like PSSAs or benchmarks, keystones, whatever, they're not, they aren't reading how a child is performing in school. Most of the subject matter that is on those tests is not even things that they are currently learning about in school. Common Core is also not the way to go. Common Core is simply a standard. It was not created or reviewed by teachers, yet they are supposed to teach it to their students. It is given to teachers, yet most of them are unaware how to go about teaching their curriculum itself. Common Core also harms English. The Common Core English replaces up to 70% of traditional literature with so-called informational text. Informational text is a non-fiction, non-literary type of document that includes newspaper articles, technical manuals, government documents, and genres that most students find boring or do not contain any wholesome moral or life lesson. A lot of the vocabulary in these informational texts is also high above reading level for students who are taking these tests, so they're not even grasping and fully understanding what they're learning. Overall, while the goal seems to be to fix American education by implementing strict standards, these standards are in reality ruining American education. Creativity, planning, imagination, and fun are all swept under the rug so that national standards can be the main idea in the American classroom. National standards and assessments will not deliver what Obama administration believes it will. They think it's there to help and, it's there to increase academic achievement, but in reality, like with the Keystones, it is just placing students behind in remedial courses and in reality just keeping them from graduating. It is made of components that fail to address the fundamentals of what education actually is. By just sticking to the system that was in place and maybe tweaking it a little bit and progressing with the system they have is better than taking it away completely and replacing it with the national standards trends that are popular today.